We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Tub with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Rob living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Nobody like you. You already hit play?
Yes, we are rolling. So the whole world heard you say that everyone hates me. We are live.
Come on, man, start over. No.
Well, that was good.
Oh, no. Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am.
He is.
Yes, I am. And I'd like to thank you all for being here again. Also, I got with me my producer, Izzle.
Yeah.
What's going on, young fella?
Feeling good, feeling great. Some allergies, though. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, I just wanted to, you guys see me sitting here.
I say you got a little seat over there.
You know, that Kelly Green, rocking the Kelly Green Super Bowl champion.
Hey, Super Bowl champion, Jalen.
You know it. And so, with that, we're going to talk a little bit about, not the Eagles per se, because I know a lot of y'all can't handle it. Everybody can't be champions, So, but we're going to talk about sports a little bit, but not just sports in the sense of, hey, what happened in the game, this and that. We can talk about that.
Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we ain't going to just keep talking about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. But they did win the Super Bowl.
They did win the Super Bowl.
But we ain't going to keep talking about that.
Nah.
But they did win. But what we are going to talk
right.
about is how sports and life combine or intersect, and how sports play a large part into your life. And if you, like me and my family, like my kids all play sports, they were, very active, and we had a good time watching them play and putting them out there to get, learn how to play, whether it's football and basketball and soccer and all the different things, baseball, they played it all, softball, volleyball. So they played it all. But what I want to talk about is really about how sports and what sports does to kind of prepare you for life in a sense. The hard work that you put in on the field is one of those things where I think people don't understand that you have to grind. You learn how to grind in sports. Those practices that you put in and the hits that you take and
rolling tour days.
Yeah, and even the failures that you have on the field or on the court. Those things really prepare you for life, because life ain't easy. But I think too many times we have people that make you feel like, oh yeah, you should, everything should be great, it should be easy, and we set people up for failure. And then when they fail, it's almost like, oh, woe is you. Nah, it's just part of life, man. You ain't gonna win every game. Nobody has ever won every game they ever played. You always gonna lose something. You're not gonna make every shot. You're not gonna catch every pass. You're not gonna hit every ball. It is just part of life. But sports help you understand that. But it also help you know that if you want to be great, if you want to be the best, you got to put that grind in. You're gonna have to work hard to get that. The influence on your life and the family life that sports had, especially for my family. Like I said, my kids kept us busy. I mean, we would be all over the place. I mean, whether it's time we was in Philly and going back and forth to practices, running over to Jersey for practices and games, and then we moved to Virginia and all the different places that my sons had. They played ball, and we all up and down the East Coast, or even Vegas. I'm playing AAU ball. It's a lot that goes into all that stuff. But one of the things I always told my kids, and I think they learned early, is that you start it, you finish it. So, and when they were young, it's like, you want them to figure out, practice, get a taste of each sport. But you can't quit. Because in most cases, especially when they first start, it's going to be hard. They're not going to do their best. They're not going to be the best necessarily when they first start a sport. But you stick with it till the end, because that's when you at the end you can make a better judgment on whether or not it was worth it to you, whether or not you can do it. But that also applies in life. You can't quit just because it's hard. So if you learn that in a sport or in sports or as a young age, you'll understand that I ain't going to work and just quit because I don't like my boss. Because in most cases, you probably didn't like your coach. You definitely didn't like him or her when they had you, slamming into the dummies or shooting 1,000 jumpers or keep hitting the same dude over and over again in this tackling drill. It's like, yo, man, why we keep doing this? Or all the push-ups you have to do. You don't necessarily like them, but you understand there's a benefit to it. But it's also the same. So that's what I mean where it plays a role in life. I don't just quit because it's hard or because it's difficult. I continue to work through it. And I think you do for me, and again, I know everybody won't agree with it, but I think you do your kids a disservice when you don't allow them to at least try a sport. I think you do them a disservice. Because sports also teaches them teamwork. Something you're going to need in your life forever. You're going to have to work with other people. I don't care what you do. If people say, well, I'm going to go into business for myself. You still going to have to work with some other people. You might be in business for yourself, but if you don't have no teamwork, you won't be in business long for yourself. You got to learn how to work with people, and sports teach you that. Sports will teach you how to work with people, whether you like them or not. You won't always like everybody on your team, but I know if I get this dude the ball at the right time in the right spot, he gonna make that shot. I may not like him, but I want to win this game.
That's called being professional.
Hey, and the same thing happens at work. I don't like everybody I go to work with. I don't have to like them. I just got to get the job done. We're going to go in here, we're going to do this job, and I'm going to leave. And at the end of the year or midterms or whatever, I'm going to get a bonus, I'm going to get a great write-up, I'm going to get all the things I need to have benefited from working with somebody I didn't like. But sports teach you those things. When my kids was little, especially like my oldest son and daughter, my son was 2 months old. I used to have him in the gym with me. We would go play ball, and I take him and I have him sitting in his basket. And my daughter sitting beside him, and they watching me play basketball. And I always not just it's like I want you to understand this is not just about the game itself, but again you get to be around other people. You get to see people because again while you sitting there, or after they got older, they running around trying to shoot themselves, but people are talking to them. They being friendly. They making friends. My son, next to the youngest one, Rashawn, when he was I don't even know if he was 2 years old yet. I don't even know. He might have been 2. But anyway, older son, Derek was playing football, and he was like 8 or 9, but he was more shy. Rashawn talked to everybody when he was little. So we at the football field, and so Eric was sitting basically by himself. While he played offense, he was on offensive line as a center, but he was sitting by himself basically. Well, Rashawn running up and down the field talking to everybody, and one of the kids was like, "Who are you?" And so Rashawn tell him who he is, and he said, "That's my brother," talking about Derek. All of a sudden, Derek got friends. All because his little brother was kind of like so much fun that they thought he was cool too. So it helped him to make friends. And most of the friends that they have through life, they met on a basketball court, on the football field. Even my daughters in cheering and volleyball and softball, they met people that to this day that they're friends with. My oldest son played football with people that I'm sure to this day he cool with. That it's a friendship, it's a bond that you make, that you have with people that, it goes a long way. And so that's one of the things I think people don't understand. Because if you always by yourself, or you spend all this time where you don't have anybody supporting you, you don't understand the value that sports would have taught you that I can't win this by myself. I need other people. They need me. It ain't just about me needing, but in order for us to win, I got to be at my best. So I'm putting in that work. I'm grinding. And when you learn to grind on the field, in the classroom, you learn to grind. Or like my oldest son, even he did a drama. He was like the act and all that. Probably because he's full of it. but he had to learn his lines. That wasn't just something you have to work at that. Now, not to say that it don't come easy for some people. Even sports come easy. Some sports come easier for other people.
I improv all my lines on the spot.
Yeah, but that's certain things that you have to work at to be good. And what that does is it teaches you in life that you got to work through some stuff. And when you get on your job, you got to work at it. You got to learn the job to not just to become proficient in the job, become the best at the job. When I go to work, I used to tell people, look, I'm trying to be the best I can be, not because I want to be great for the employer. I don't care about the employer. I don't know them. I care about what they think of me. I care about the fact that they say, yo, this dude gonna do his job right. But those things that you get from sports. Look, when I'm trying to play, I'm trying to be the best player on the court. But you're gonna get that, and it carries over into your work life. That work-life balance, yeah, that's all. Even in my marriage, I'm trying to be the best for my wife. You get all those things from sports, and I think people take sports for granted sometimes, and they try to, single it down to, they just playing a game. No, it's bigger than that. It's so much more that it carries over into that sometimes we take for granted. And so you got to understand, it's a big difference in how you grind to do something. But then you also have the downside of, like in a lot of sports, today anyway, they get so much money in sports, it's ridiculous. I ain't knocking how much money they get, because look, if I could get it, I wanted to. So I ain't gonna knock it. But the thing of it is, when you get the money, and even on your job, do you work as hard, or are you willing to sacrifice once you get the money?
Oh, like getting comfortable.
Okay. So Marvin Hagler said, he was like, it's hard to get up at 4 a.m. and run 10 miles when you're sleeping on satin sheets. And that's the difference. When he was, when they were, you growing up and you dirt poor.
Might not have no sheets.
Yeah, you like, I'm happy to get up out of here. Because it's cold anyway, I might as well run. So you got all the reasons to go do something when you don't have it. But then when you have it, are you willing to go get it? And so, or willing to put that drive in order to keep it. And so for me, it's like there should be a love for what you do, whether it's the sport or your job, that makes you go above and beyond, even when you're making the money or making more than enough money. Because I love what I do. It ain't about the fame or the money right now. It's about, I just love being the best at what I do. I want to make every shot. So if you want to make every shot, you got to get into the gym, shoot 1,000, 2,000 jumper. And again, you still ain't going to make them all, but you're going to make a lot more than other people that ain't shooting none. But you got to be willing to do that when you already got the money, or you getting the money, or you getting the different things that you got. Like even now, putting in the work to do this podcast. I know it ain't that many people listening all the time or checking it out.
You're talking about everybody listening.
Yeah, they should be. But at the same time, it's a love that I have for doing it. I enjoy this now. And so by loving doing it, I want to be better at it. I want to do the best I can and give the people the best I can. I want to give them, so that even if it's that one person that's going to listen.
Shout out to the people.
If one person listens, I want that one person to go and say, yo, that was some good information. I got something out of that to help my life be better. Then it was worth it to me. It ain't about the paper, because I ain't getting none. It's about I love what I'm doing. And so I love helping people. And, for my life, and I can go back years, and it's like, I've always tried to help people. So now I'm just I can be able to share information and knowledge and wisdom that I've gained over the years to a larger amount of people, versus I'm just doing it and nobody actually You know, it's like I can do it for one person. Now I can talk, and thousands of people can hear me talk. Millions of people can go back and say, yo, that was some good information. So I can touch more lives. But you got to want to do it. But and again, you got to be able to put that grind in and to really be able to go out there and say, yeah, this is what I love doing. You know, and so if you love doing something, or even if you don't, do it. As long as you're going to do it, do your best at it. Do your best at it until you don't have to. And if you don't like what you do, after you finish that job, then you move to something else. But don't quit in the middle. Don't quit because it's hard at the beginning. Finish it, see it through, and then you move to something else. Like I said, kids play baseball, football, basketball, softball, volleyball. They were cheerleaders. They did everything. Whatever they could do, they was going to get involved with it. And so, but again, then you choose what you love. Like my youngest son, outstanding football player when he was young. Outstanding. Boy could run. Touchdown every time he touched the ball. Got to a certain age, he said, I don't want to play football no more. Broke my heart. I thought boys were great. He only wanted to play basketball. Cool. It's your choice, but at least you found what you love. But if you never played, and I always say the way he played, because he was so good at football and his aggressive nature in football, it helped him on the basketball court because now he can take a hard foul, or people couldn't just push him around because he used to playing football. But you could never have found your passion or the sport that you love if you never even tried it. So he had to try all these different sports, and you go from being the best football player on the field to being just a dude on the basketball court, but now his work ethic made him, now also one of the best on the basketball court because he willing to put in that work. But again, that's the same thing. It goes into now your job. Now you're a grown man, you're willing to put that grind in to be the best on the job because you understand the benefits that come with being the best versus just being one of the players. When you're the best, people look at you different. When you're the best at work, they look at you different. When I'm working or when I was working, if I came in a little bit late, my boss ain't saying nothing to me because they knew they was gonna get more than enough time out of that day from me. I'm the best you got. So I'm gonna give you not 8 hours, I'm gonna give you 9, 10, 12 hours sometime. But you already know that. So the fact that I might have been 30 minutes late, they're gonna overlook that. But if I was that dude that just came in and left, just getting by, they'd have some words for me. Being the best, got some privileges. People say, when Magic and Kobe and LeBron, they get get treated differently. Yeah, because they the best. Mm-hmm. I don't care if Jordan want to go out and smoke all night long. He gonna come in and drop 40 the next night. I don't care if LeBron say, I want this dude and that dude. I don't care because he going to come in and give me a triple-double and win all these games. So I don't care what they do. I'm going to give them some leeway. If this dude, the number 12 man on the bench come late or going out hanging, man, I don't need you. You need to go kick rocks because you ain't that good. So you got to understand, being the best has its privileges. So work to be the best. If you want the benefits that the stars get, become a star. It's okay to want to be the greatest. Look, we talk about, it's funny, like whenever, like Muhammad Ali and even like the great orators like MLK and different people. People overlooked a lot of the things that they did that they didn't agree with because of who they were at that moment. You're the best we got. So I don't care about some other things that people say about you. I don't care about those other things that you may be doing that I know for a fact. I don't care because you're doing these great things. So your greatness will make room will cover up a lot of your faults. But the problem is we got people that suck at everything, don't put forth no effort, but they want benefits. Come on, man. They be like, oh, you don't treat me the same as you treat so-and-so. No, because you suck.
You suck.
I don't even want you. I just can't get rid of you yet.
Oh,
You talking about, I don't treat you the same. You ain't the star, bruh. You the 12th man on the bench. And you talking about you want some benefits. What benefit? Your benefit is that you still got a job. Your benefit is that we let you ride the bus with us. That's your benefit. Because in reality, we want you to get there the best way you can, because we wouldn't care if you showed up. Come on, y'all don't understand this thing. Sport, this stuff play. Look, Jalen Hurts. People can talk about, oh, he don't do this. Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl champion. You know, that's what I'm talking about, in case y'all don't know. The Super Bowl champion, Jalen Hurts. but people will say, well, he can't throw as well as this person, or he don't do that as well. But what did he do? He played his role at a high level, the highest level, his role. He wasn't trying to be Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't trying to be, Lamar Jackson. He wasn't trying to be nobody but himself in the role that they had him in for his team. And what happened? He the MVP champion.
Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts.
That's who he is, because he played his role at such a high level. The same thing with the other players. I didn't need my defensive linemen dropping back into coverage, making picks. I need my defensive linemen breaking through that line, causing problems. So he did that at such a high level that they won a Super Bowl. But you can't tell me that the dude that on the practice squad that I care what you do. You're on the practice squad, you know what I mean? Look, I'm glad you're helping us. That's great. You got a role. But understand your role. Be the best practice player you can be until you can get on the real team. Don't ask for the benefits that Jalen Hurts got when you are practice team quarterback. No, you're not Jalen Hurts. Every other team, y'all not the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champion. Y'all not us.
Eagles.
But you are who you are. Be happy with that. Suck it up. You know, you are what you are. It is what it is.
Not Super Bowl champion NFL teams.
Right. But for everybody, but for the Eagles, that's what champions get. They get the benefit of the doubt sometimes. But if you in the same thing in life, if you want to win, go out, grind, be your best, work hard to be the best in your field. If you work in the post office and you delivering mail, go out there and drop your mail in the boxes and do it timely. Be the best. If you work as a janitor, make sure you keep stuff clean. Be the best janitor. Don't just go do a job and then you just barely doing a decent job. And then you keep talking about this job sucks. No, you suck. The job ain't never did nothing wrong. You did it.
You suck.
It's easy to keep talking about, well, I don't like these people. They put too much pressure on you. Well, you can't handle pressure. Should have played more sports, because sports cause pressure. That's some pressure in them. I got to make this last shot. I got to make the first shot. I'm at the free throw line. That's pressure. I get used to it as a kid. So now when I go into the office and they say, yo, we got a deadline. I'm used to deadlines because the clock ticking in sports. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make this deadline. That ain't no pressure. Let's go get it. Yo, rally up the team. Let's get it. That's what we do. But y'all keep looking at it at, everybody, the ones that aren't doing well, you keep looking at it as, oh, they put too much pressure on. Oh, how come they rushing us? Come on, man, because they got things. You got to keep it moving. Yo, we got to keep this going, man. We trying to be the best. So either you step up to be one of those team members that's going to help us be the best, or get off the team. Go join the Commanders or the Cowboys or somebody. And then you can suck. Nobody don't care. Nobody care if the Cowboys suck. Cowboys suck. We expect that. It is what it is. But you can't play for the Eagles and suck.
Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. So that's what. But it's the same thing in life, man. You can't work for me on my team and be bad. I'm sorry. I don't want no. You got to put forth effort, man. Because I had employees that when they come to work, they gonna give me everything they got. But they also know if they say, "Hey, Rob, I need to go check on my mom," or "I need to go take my kids here. I'll be back though." Cool, go ahead. I ain't even make them take leave. Just go ahead. Go handle your business, come back. Because they're going to give me so much more than that hour that they took. So, yeah, you get some preferential treatment. Some people, nah, bro, you got to put in leave. Because you ain't giving me a good 8 hours. So, nah, I ain't letting you slide.
We'll sign that notepad, boy.
You got to put in leave, man. But this one, nah, you ain't got to put it on leave. Because I know when you come back, you going to stay online hour, 2, 3 hours longer than you should have anyway. You do that every day. You always giving more. So I got you. It's the same thing. I'm telling you, those are things that, a good work ethics. People say, oh, you can't teach. No, you can teach it. You learn it in sports. The good players, you figure out who they are real soon. It's like at 5 years old, when a kid on this dude right here. Because you see him in practice, not the game. In practice, he grinding. So when the game comes, he already used to playing hard. My son was practice harder than most people played. Because they knew, I'm here watching you, man. I ain't looking to see you play in the dirt. I didn't bring you out here. I don't give you 5. At 5 years old, my kids knew when you step on this field, you practice, you pay attention, and you go hard. Because I'm watching you. And when we go home, I'm telling you all the things I saw that I didn't like. So you already used to being coached hard. So when you go to work, it's no big deal. These people I even used to tell them, like when they was going up and look, bro, you could handle this. You take my punch. Look, I ain't hitting you as hard as I can, but I hit you. If you can handle that, these young boys out here, they can't handle you. So they had a reason to be afraid. Because they like, me and my dad swing every now and then, just boxing, playing around. He hit me harder than they will. But they already got it. I'm going to coach you hard. I'm going to push you to a limit. So that now when you stand on your own 2 feet where I ain't around, you already got that. You already got that grind in you. But again, sports will help with all that. Don't diminish what sports do for your kids. Don't just, a lot of times people think, I'll let you play the sport. But it's almost like they look at it as it's just a extracurricular activity that's a benefit to them. And they mess up, I ain't going to let them play. No, if you mess up, let them go. Tell that coach that they suck at math or they ain't doing their homework. And watch what that coach do. He going to make them run harder. He going to make them do this more. He going to push them. And now all of a sudden they like, I ain't trying to go home or go to school and act up because my mom or my dad going to have the coach do this to me. It helps. Again, don't just assume sports is just extra. It teaches young people, kids, a lot. It helps them. Again, teamwork. It teaches them how to grind. It teaches them how to work through some pain. You're going to go to work sometime as a grown man or a grown woman, and you're not going to feel like it. You're going to have a bad day at home, or your husband or your wife going to get into an argument, so mentally you ain't there. Your kids going to act up. So you're going to have some issues going on in life. You may even be in some pain because of whatever your body is doing. But you work through it because you've learned to work through it. You got people at a young age, they don't go to school because they got a cough. Or because, my elbow was hurting. So they can't go to school. Come on, man, go to school. You'll be okay with your elbow hurt. I know kids that didn't go to school because they broke their leg. So, again, you wasn't walking to school.
That's crazy.
So you can't go to school because
you days when you break your leg.
Yeah, look, you may not know. You go to school. I'm teaching you to work through this. Because again, I don't want you to always get out of not working. Go to school, man. I ain't asking you to go play kickball. You go to school. I'm gonna take you to school anyway. I'm dropping you off. You just gotta go there and sit down in the class.
All right, can you miss like a day?
I ain't saying you don't miss a day. You gotta, I'm talking. But you don't even miss the whole 8 weeks you got a cast on.
All right, that's fair.
You know, or whatever. Or you in a walking boot. If you in a walking boot, walk your boot to school. But again, I just think that, sports teach you the boundaries of what you can take and what you can do. And again, some things may be a little extreme here, there. I ain't saying you go to school with a, because you broke your neck and you still got to go to school.
Sergeant General.
But you got to be able to fight through some things. Because I'm trying to teach you that even in sports and the things that you go through, that because again, you may lose your job. If you go to a certain job, you're like, I can't come because this happened. Now you done lost your job. But if you learn to fight through it, then maybe you'd have kept your job. You got to understand, it's nobody care about you but you. And if you don't care enough about yourself to work hard, then everybody else will be like, yo, he ain't worth my time. She ain't worth my time. So again, sports, man, I'm telling you, sports has a huge influence on our life. And everybody not going to be the Eagles.
Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Everybody can't be Jalen Hurts.
Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts.
But it doesn't mean you don't work as hard as you can to try to become that.
So you don't suck like the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. And so, therefore, I'm just telling you, put your grind in, do what you got to do, and understand that sports is not just extra, but it can add a lot to your life going forward as well. When you're young, you learn so much from sports. And that teamwork will carry over into your life. So don't just take it as nothing. Appreciate it for what it is. And, and maybe you can be a Super Bowl champion like
the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
And so maybe you could do that too one day. Unless you're a Cowboy fan.
Who suck?
And you'll never see a championship again.
Because you suck.
So with that said, we like to say appreciate you guys tuning in. Even Cowboy fans, we appreciate y'all tuning in.
Even though you suck.
Yeah, and you really should tune in more because y'all can get a lot out of this because y'all need to see what winners look like.
You try to learn not to suck.
Yeah, and y'all need to see what winners look like. So appreciate you guys. Much love to you for all tuning in. Catch us next time.
Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
All that good stuff. And we will check you out on the next episode of...
I've been calling them podcasts. I mean, podasodes now.
Podasodes?
Yeah,
oh, great. Hey, if we're podasode, we're pod. See, we're the first podasodes.
Yeah, this is podasode.
Check out our next podasode next week. So appreciate you guys and be cool. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Peace.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio, we in the studio. We Rob, we in the studio. In the studio, we in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence, you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.